Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. That's a terrible way to start off this video. What the hell am I doing? Anyways, welcome. Today I was gonna show you all my artwork and tell you some things. Alright, before I start showing you the artwork, I must say I'm 19 years old. I am a man, obviously. I've graduated not college, high school. I graduated high school. Never went to college because I think it's somewhat of a waste of time. But that's just me. That's how I visualize it. Yeah. I'm just 19. YouTube is just a side request. I'm blessed to even have 1,000 freaking subscribers, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just blessed to have 1,000 subscribers. I do work a job. Happy 4th of July, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Happy 4th of July to all of you guys. Literally every single person in this world. I know there's only like 1,000 some people subscribe to me, but I'm gonna say it because I want to. And I feel like everyone should get the message, hey, happy 4th of July, you know? Yeah, that's all I gotta say. So this is my artwork. This is unfinished product. As you can tell over here, I was trying to paint the whole sky black. So this whole thing was basically a painting. It was gonna look dope as frick until I ran out of time. Yeah, I ran out of time. So this was gonna be water that the little dog surfs on. Some of this was gonna be rocks and bubbles and stuff like that. Next, which you guys probably will like the most, Pterosaurus Rex. My name is Jeremy Boyer, and so I was like, yo, let me try something very cool and stuff like that, and very fashion. So I was thinking, what do people play when they don't have Wi-Fi or connection or anything? So I was thinking, and next thing you know, I found the idea. It was the dinosaur game. I even got the high score over there, by the way, with the freaking asteroid. And then you got the bird in the back. Then you got the cactus, and there's blood everywhere because he's a T-Rex. Let's be honest now. All right. If I'm being honest, that's one of my favorites. And then you got the bunny. You got the 2 ears, and you got the face, and then you got the wheat bread or whatever it's called. And then you got the minivan, looking nice and tight. And then you got the dolphins. And then you got, I want to say, my second favorite piece of art, the 1-up from Mario. I like it because I had to use tape to make the square so defined and stuff, and other things like that. But I like it so freaking well because it's like Mario. If I'm being honest, Mario Brothers is one of my favorite games. I ain't gonna lie. So I just love it. I felt like it came out perfect. And then you got the cat with the ice cream with a little mouth. I thought this was dope. I didn't want the cat to stand on the table. I didn't want this bush here, but I was supposed to throw it in because, well, not supposed to, but the teacher said throw something else in there. I was like, I don't know what else to throw in. I mean, if it was just a cat and ice cream, it would be awesome because the ice cream's leaking and the cat's just standing there with several different colors. And then she's like, nah, that's just too plain. I'm like, what do you mean it's too plain? And it's whatever. I don't really care. But I just still think it's well done. If you don't mind these two things. And then I had to draw a kid. I had to draw a kid that loves games. Video games. And so I did the world's hardest game behind him. and then I did him. And this was freaking hard, dude. This was so freaking hard. This is not even a painting. This is just the better version of it. So I did paint it. If you guys can't tell, his nose doesn't really look like it's on him or anything. His ears are a little iffy. His mouth is a little iffy as well. The shirt, I don't even know what I did with the shirt. This has been so long ago. But I like the background because the world's hardest game was one of my favorite games. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then what do we got in here? So I was in driver's ed when I drew this. I drew Kirby with big titties, feet, flip flops, and a straw hat. And this was during during driver's ed. Yeah, that's the word. I lost the word and then I found it. And yeah, that was during driver's ed. Golly. Hold up now. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, it says I want to be a break dancer, so I added a picture. I want to feel good about myself. I love myself. Look, no, yeah, it says I love myself 100 times a day until I believe it. And you got that inspiration quote or something. And then I said I want a PS3 with Black Ops 1. So you got the Black Ops 1 stuff, the ray gun, the map. That's my favorite map, Kinder the Toten. And then I said I want to be smart, learn the stuff I struggle 1 month, watch YouTube. But yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I don't know why I did that. That was so long ago. But it's alright. I want a girlfriend. I want a girlfriend that accepts the way I am and is trustful. So I just put a cat. Because if I did a girl, it just looked weird. Then I said I can organize a recycle app or something. I have no idea what this was about. But it's pretty stupid. This was back in 2019, bro. It's 2025, my boys. Golly. This was probably something cool. You know the black thing that you scratch and stuff like. Here, for an example. You know what? I can't scratch with my fingernails. I'm stupid. I did this. This was back when I was in middle school. That's supposed to be Snorlax. This was back when I was in middle school. This was in, what? I want to say freshman or going on to the other grade in high school. My favorite football player, Deshaun Jackson. From the Eagles, obviously. And then, yeah, that's not printed out, but what's the word? Whatever. Y'all already know. And then I did Squidward the bunny. And another thing, when I was in driver's ed, I made Epic Gaming Gary, or you could just call him Egg. I like the fashion, bro. Like, look at him, bro. He looks tight. He looks sick. And if you guys can't tell, this is driver's ed. And then we drew Epic Gaming Gary. And then you got this. I like the hand. I like the doll. I like the creature. And then I was told to put them all in one. And that's what I made on the back, right here. The Venom guy eating the doll with the hand controlling the Venom guy. But I don't know if that looked cool or not. So I just didn't really do much about it. My teacher told me to do 5 vowels. I was like, this looks terrible. But like the vowels, I'll give her. This is the regular car. It's blue, but she can only print it black and gray and white. This is my rough draft of Frankenstein. And then this is wait, hold up. Before I even show you the other one, rough draft of Frankenstein. All right, this is just a rough draft, and this was back when I was high school. Not in high school. Back when I was in middle school, early middle school too. So I would say like 7th grade or something like that. And then this is my final Frankenstein. This is number 1, obviously. The reason why I'm gonna give it a number 1 is because the shading on point. Well, maybe not on point, but like it's sick. All right, the shading's sick. I could have fixed the neck area, but I didn't know much back when I was in middle school. Plus, I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, but that's all right. Everyone has their stuff going on in life, so I just made Frankenstein the best I could. The nose looks more realistic than the one guy I had to draw. And then you got Fat Fish, or the fish from SpongeBob, where he's hiding the pickles and stuff underneath his tongue. And then you got this I would say is cool. So this is what I had to draw on the left side, and then I drew that on the right side. And tell me if it looks identical or not, because to me it looks a little bit identical. I mean, it's close enough, but it looks pretty identical if you're asking me. And then freaking I got Diary of a Wimpy Kid stuff. I don't know what I did there. And then you got this guy with a P on his head. This was sick as well. This was all paint, by the way. So the aliens' eyes are UFOs, and the aliens eating the Earth. And then, yeah, that was sick. Joe Cool. This was awesome. Even though I traced it. That's the word I was trying to look for earlier. I traced it. Even though I traced it, it still looks dope, alright? Tell me if I'm wrong or not, bro. And then my friend's car, again. I love it because of VP Racing Fuels, and not only that, the design is just cool in general. And then, yeah, when I was in the hospital for brain surgery and stuff, I was like, you gotta love room service, because that thing right there is pizza. I don't know what that is. Then that's just my cup, and the whole thing is on the table. And this is the bed I'm laying on, and that's just the wall with a table or counter that's holding another cup. So yeah, that's all just in one folder, by the way. That was in the Gerosaurus Rex folder. Alright. I do love baseball. So, my teacher was like, you should try something for your folder. My folder, which is this. You should, she said, you should try something that you love to do. I was like, I love breaking stuff, but I also love the sport baseball. I was like, let me put those two together, and next thing you know, you got this. Alright. Middle school, by the way. I don't know what the B4 stands for, but it's whatever. Soccer. I used to play soccer back when I was a kid. I don't know what this is. Okay. There are waves. There's pinky skies. Alright. Then you got, I don't even know her name. SM. And then you got, oh my goodness, no way, Yusuf Ali. He was my favorite friend from Philadelphia. Hopefully he's still okay in Philadelphia. And then you got Pencil Man. Me and Ali wrote, not Ali, Yusuf Ali. Me and Yusuf drew this guy, and we call him Pencil Man. So he helps kids write stuff. We don't know what stuff because we just made him up. And then you got shading and stuff like that. Pumpkins. Yeah, that it's okay, I guess. I can't pick the paper up. Golly. And more shading. I got a 19 out of 30 on that. That's crazy. And you got that. And I'm not very good at mouth or doing teeth or anything like that. So that's why it's so terrible. And that's that. Don't mind me moving my camera. And if you are a new subscriber, I am the only cameraman. So yeah, it really doesn't help when I don't have a cameraman. Back when I was in middle school again, this was a picture of me. Yeah, I said it was terrible. By the way, I was wearing a shirt that said "Buzz Off." A flower was in my hair. I guess I was wearing a hat and shorts and shoes. But it looks like my freaking toes out. Shapes, shading, stuff like that. This Pikachu is probably the best Pikachu I've ever drew. He looked like a potato almost. And I said he was a fat Pikachu. And then you got this guy. We were just doing what the teacher said. He was like, draw this mannequin. Like, you know the mannequin or the dolls on the stick. And they stay there. You can move their arms and stuff. Well, yeah, I drew that guy. And without the stick, obviously. And I think it went pretty well. I also don't know. Then you got this guy. I don't know what warg means or anything. And then you got that. And you got that. If you guys can't tell, I did do Frankenstein when I was in middle school. Like, what are these? What are these drawings, bro? Besides Frankenstein. That's funny. Alright, that's funny. And there's nothing else back there. Alright, and then this was also traced. That was also traced. But that's alright, alright. Back when I was in middle school, painting, terrible. A log with an eye, terrible. A freaking bear with multiple colors, terrible. This, you're looking at the sky, right? And then you got buildings. I wanted to put the house right there because it reminded me of Up, the movie Up. But yeah, that's that. And then you got this with the chains. And you got this with the trees from like African side. I don't know what you're gonna call that. And you got this optical illusion. But after that, I printed off some pictures so I could just draw. So I drew that. And when I say I can't do flowers, I can't do flowers. If you guys think this is a good flower, comment down below. Hey, good flower. Alright. And then we were supposed to do camouflage, so I did that. More optical illusion. And then alright, the teacher told us to do something for Google, sports-wise. So I did this. I don't know if it's good or not, but obviously it's not on Google. It wasn't on Google. And then you got that. More shoes that I printed off to draw all over. I like this one so much. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys about that. I like this one so much because I love the Joker, I ain't gonna lie. And then I do SpongeBob on crack. My ideas are kind of trash. And then I had something to draw. And after I drew it, I had to paint it. And the painting, let me just tell you guys, this is terrible. The painting is so bad. And then you got this. inside and out, I guess. And like I said, the painting was bad. So if you guys want to see the picture or the painting, there's the painting. Terrible. Literally terrible. I mean, it might be good to your eyes, but my eyes, it's okay, I guess. And then you got this. I love the design I did with the bottom two, like the sky and everything. I like that. And if you guys can't tell, my favorite team is the Eagles and stuff like that. Golly, I have so many folders. Then I did a shark with a UFO and just so many other stuff, bro. That was the doll that we had to draw on the stick and stuff. And so my teacher just put this on every single table with different things, obviously. And this is what I had to draw and stuff. So I drew it. And then you got my favorite sport, baseball, once again. And last but not least, you got this thing. Terrible. Anyways, comment down below if you like this video. If you want to see more videos or of me painting or drawing or doing anything like that, comment down below. We'd love to see that. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Love y'all. I'm out. Peace.